Okay, so remember, function, the x does not repeat. So throughout this whole thing, all we're doing is looking to see if the x repeats, okay? So this, it says rewrite the relation, okay? And remember, a relation is any set of ordered pairs. So all of these are relations, okay? Because it's just a set of data, a set of ordered pairs. It says rewrite the relation given in the mapping as a scatter plot. So what you have to do, and I'm going to get you started on this, but I really want you to practice graphing, is you go from x to y. So this point is -1, -2. So from 0, you go over -1, you go down to -2, and you put a dot. And then you would continue. So 1 to -1, 1, -1. Now, I want you to look at this when there's two lines coming from it, okay? That means that this one goes to -1 and this one goes to 0. So the next point is 1, 0, 1, 0. So you need to plot these 2 points, but I want you to look at this. So since this 1 repeated, is this a function? No, because the x repeated itself. So is this a function? No, it's not a function. Okay? So what you're going to do is the opposite here. You're going to take these points and you're going to write them as a mapping. Alrighty. And then this one, it says rewrite the relation as a mapping. It's the same thing. You want to write it as a mapping, and I can help you. I'll start. So look, when you write a mapping, do you see how they go in order? The x values go in order, and so do the y's. So this is -2, all right, is your farthest left point. So that's your first x. All right, and then look at this dot. Your next x is -1. Okay, your next x is 0. Your next x is 1. And then how do you write your y's in order? Well, you start from the bottom and go to the top. So what's your furthest point down? -3. I'm just going to do this one for you. What is this one? -2. And then you're at 0. And then your next point is 1. Okay, I'll let you draw your lines, but it's really easy. So this point, I'll show you one. This point is -2, 0. So your line goes from -2 and you draw it down to 0. Then you'd have to do this point and so forth. Okay, now look at this one. Is this a function? Well, if you drew a line, like I told you yesterday when we have graphs, a vertical line, what happened there? That x, it repeats because this is a -2 and this is -2, -3. So that x repeated. Is this a function? No, it is not. Okay. So that's how you have to do these. You see if these repeat, you do the vertical line test on this one. And then you look right here. Do any of those repeat? All right. Now, it says identify the domain and range. I marked those out. As you can see, I didn't do a very good job, but I did enough. Okay. And then it says determine whether these graphs and these graphs down here, that's all you're doing on the graphs, is determining whether they're a function. So like I showed you yesterday, all you have to do is draw vertical lines. Okay. If your lines only touch the graph one time, then it's a function. So when I drew this line, it only touched once. When I drew this line, it only touched once. When I drew this line, it only touched once. So is this a function? Yes, it is. Okay, but what about this next one? If I draw a line, oops, I forgot I'm not highlighting. If I draw a line here or anywhere on this graph, how many times does it touch? 1, 2. So is this a function? No. because the x repeats everywhere, actually. Okay, so as long as the line only touches one time, it's a function. If the line touches twice, it is not a function. Okay, so that's how you would do 5, 6, 7, and then 11 through 16. Now, on this, it says identify the domain and range. We haven't really covered that yet, but I want to get started. I want you to start understanding what domain and range is. So domain is your x values, okay? Range is your y values. And I'm going to do this one because it's probably the hardest one. So domain is your x, range is your y. So how do we write the domain and range? Well, all you have to do is list out your x values that they give you and then list out your y values. So domain, my x values, is -3, -1, 1, and 2. Your y values, your range is -2, -1, and 0. Okay. Is this guy a function? Well, -3 only goes to that one, -1 only goes to that one, 1 only goes to 1, and then 2 only goes to 0. It's okay if the y's repeat, but all these x's are only used one time. So yes, this is a function. On this part, we haven't covered this, but we're going to soon, okay? So this, I'm going to just go ahead and tell you, is an x value. So they want to know when x is -3, okay, what is your y? What does it equal? So when x is -3, where does that line go to? -1. Okay, if you don't get this right, that's fine. This is another day, but just know that this is your x value and this is your x value, and they're asking when x is this number, what is your y values? Okay, and make sure you tell me if these are functions. All right, if you have any questions, let me know, but that's all you have to do for the rest of the time. And this is also your attendance today, so make sure you get it completed.